of you. I'm just making some fruit salad. Are you guys hungry?
Yes.
Well, there's plenty of apples over there. Help yourselves.
Thank you.
So, have you been busy at school today?
Yes, we were talking about the other countries like Australia.
Andrew says that if we started to dig here, we'd land up in Australia. Is that true?
Well, there's a few problems with that theory.
Like?
Well, if you look at this globe, can you show me where South Africa is? Yes, now hold your finger there and show me where Australia is. You got it? So, you see, it's not at the opposite end of where South Africa is. You'd have to cut a very careful angle. But there's a bigger problem than that.
What?
Well, it would be almost impossible to dig through the Earth's core, the center of the Earth.
What? Huh? They are going to dig through the middle of the earth. That will be very dangerous, and I'm sure it will take them years and years. What? The earth's core must be far away. Hey, wait a minute. What is the earth's core? What? These children must ask Chef Jeff. Yeah.
So, what's the earth's core?
Well, it's a bit like that core you have in your hand.
What? With pups?
No, let me explain. Nonhlanhla, can you cut that apple in half for me?
Okay.
There we go, push right through the center. Yes, there we go. Oh, give it a big push. Just one, there we go. Can you pass me one of those halves? Thank you. So you see, there's the skin, which you can see is very thin. Then there's what we call the flesh of the fruit. And then there's the core, the middle part, where we find the pips. Well, the earth is made up of 3 similar layers.
So the skin is the ground we're standing on.
Yes,
It's very bumpy skin.
very true. The skin of the earth is very bumpy. It's made up of mountains and valleys and hills. We call the first layer of the earth the crust. The crust is made up of rocks and soil.
Crust? Like in a loaf of bread?
Yes, exactly. And you know how the crust goes around the bread? Well, our Earth's crust does exactly the same thing.
How deep is the crust?
It changes. Under the sea, it's thinner than under the land.
So the crust goes under the sea too?
Yes, the crust goes all around the Earth. The sea is water that sits on top of the crust in places that are shaped to hold water, like huge dams. Most of the Earth's surface is covered in water.
What's underneath the crust?
Well, it's called the mantle. You see, the skin is very thin, and the fleshy part is quite thick. Well, it's just the same with the Earth. The first layer, the crust, is quite thin, and the second layer, the mantle, is much, much thicker.
What's in the mantle?
Well, the mantle is made up of rocks of different sorts. The rocks are very, very hot, like coal in a fire. Sometimes the rocks are so hot that they melt into a liquid called magma.
So underneath us is hot rock. What happens if we make a hole in the crust and fall onto the rock?
No, the crust, though it seems thin, is actually really, really thick. It's about 7 kilometers deep. But sometimes this hot liquid finds its way to the Earth's surface.
And what happens?
Well, let's have a look at this. The mountain we see here is called a volcano. The very hot magma sometimes pushes its way up through places where the Earth's crust isn't strong. If the magma breaks through the crust and onto the Earth's surface, it's called lava. The magma sometimes spurts out with great force and forms a volcano. We call this spurting out of the magma an eruption. The magma's got gas in it, which can cause huge explosions. Just look at that volcano erupting. The lava flowing down the mountain is very hot and burns everything in its path to ashes. Sometimes the flowing lava overruns a whole village, and the villagers have to flee in a hurry to get out of its way. When the magma or lava cools down, it forms igneous rock, which sets in interesting forms.
Wow, that's amazing. So the mountain's coughing up all that hot liquid rock. It must be very dangerous.
It is, but scientists can tell when the volcanoes are going to erupt, so they can warn people.
That's a good thing.
Hey, Marvin! Hey, Marvin!
Yebo, Marvin.
Hey, Marvin! I've decided to go on holiday.
Oh, yeah? Where are you going?
I'm going to Australia.
To Australia? How are you going to get there? You haven't got enough money to fly all the way to Australia.
I'm not going to fly. I'm going to dig.
Pardon?
Dig! You know, the porcupines have started a tunnel, and they say if I dig some more, hey, I'll get to Australia.
To Australia?
Yep.
Marvin, those porcupines are teasing you.
What do you mean?
You can't dig down to Australia.
Hey? You can't? Why?
Well, for one thing, it's too far. And for another, you couldn't go through the core of the earth.
Gee, those lying porcupines. I'm going to get my money back.
You paid money.
Yeah. I've rented their holiday flat in Australia. Yay.
Marvin. Hey.
You said there are three parts of the Earth. You've told us about the crust and the mantle. What's the third part?
Well, that's the core. The core is very, very hot. It is also thousands of kilometers wide and made mostly of iron. There are also some other minerals in it. Some of it is solid, but some of it is so hot that the iron has melted.
How far do you think I would have to dig to get to the middle of the earth?
The deepest hole dug into the earth is about 13 kilometers deep.
Whoa. And would that be where the center of the Earth is?
No, you'd have to dig about 500 holes 13 kilometers deep.
No, man. That's like, well, very deep.
Nonhlanhla, can you tell us how many kilometers that is?
Okay.
What you getting?
My bag. Just getting a pen and some paper.
Okay. Time to do sums.
100 times 13.
That's good. Carry that over there.
6,500 kilometers.
Correct. Now, that is about the distance from Cape Town all the way to Egypt.
Whoa!
The crust, the mantle, and the core forms the earth and no more. The crust is lumpy, not smooth. It helps us people to get our groove. The mantle goes down, down, down a long way, and we hope it's here to stay. At the center of the earth, we have the core, and it's hot, 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 and hot some more. At the center of the earth, we have the core, and it's hot, 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 and hot some more.
Yeah. So you can't just go to the center of the earth. That's a relief. Whew. I was sure the children would hurt themselves, and it's so hot there, it even melts iron. What? Who would want to visit the center of the earth anyway, huh? What?
You know what you could do? Why don't you make a drawing of the Earth? Then you can label the crust, the mantle, and the core. See you next time.
The crust, the mantle, and the core forms the earth and no more. The crust is lumpy, not smooth. It helps us seagulls to get our groove. The mantle goes down, down, down a long way. And we hope it's here to stay. At the center of the earth, we have the core.